Hi, I'm Jordan the Nerd of Golden. Earlier I saw a creator make a compelling conspiracy theory about Marvel rebooting their mainline universe, and I want to talk about this because I do think it's a compelling argument on his part. I'm tagging him down below. His name's Low-Key Comics, and I'm going to go ahead and describe this for anyone who hasn't seen the video or is part of my YouTube audience and won't see it. But basically, he looks at Marvel's announcements around their Armageddon event and tracking the career paths of Chip Zdarsky and Brian Michael Bendis, and makes a pretty compelling case for Marvel rebooting their universe at the end of Armageddon. And I think this is compelling, but I'm not entirely sure that I believe it is going to be like a full reboot. I think it's just going to be kind of a soft reboot of the universe, if it is a reboot at all. And one of the reasons I kind of doubt that it is a full reboot is because we have long-term plans that have been announced coming out of Philip Kennedy Johnson with the Infernal Hulk. Ryan North has not mentioned anything about leaving the Fantastic Four anytime soon. Chip Zdarsky is just getting started over on Captain America, even if he is slightly rewriting the history of Captain America right now with that little Doom origin story that we've got going on there. I think that it's quite possible that Marvel uses Armageddon to reset the Marvel Universe to be something more in line for what Kevin Feige wants out of the MCU, to give a different kind of future. And one of the reasons I think this is because recently I asked my audience in a small sample size, relatively speaking, but I asked them how they were feeling about Marvel and DC, who's doing better. And a lot of my responses were that DC was doing a better job overall, and that Marvel didn't feel like it had a real direction right now. Now, I don't know how many fans really feel that way about that. That could just be a small sample size and anecdotal evidence, but I don't think it's untrue as well, and I'm a fan of both companies. I love them both. But Marvel doesn't seem to have like a clear direction as they've had in the past. Like in the early 2000s through the 2010s, there was like a narrative moving forward throughout the entire universe, and you could feel it if you read the entire line, or you just kept up in like summaries of what was happening. You could feel some forward momentum, but it feels like the past maybe 2 or 3 years that only a handful of titles have had a forward momentum, and the rest of the line just kind of doesn't seem to be going anywhere. They just kind of repeat patterns. I don't mean that as an insult to anyone's work, but it doesn't feel like there's a direction, like editorial has a direction for the characters so much as creative teams are being asked to just like kind of tell stories that are kind of expected out of their titles. So yeah, I do think it's quite possible that Marvel takes the time to do kind of a soft reboot using the origin boxes and anything else that is around Armageddon that we can't think of just yet because we don't know what it's being teased there. That Marvel uses this opportunity to do that. I can see that because it's not like Marvel hasn't flirted with doing reboots in the past. Remember Heroes Reborn? I know a lot of people don't talk about that, but Marvel farmed out the Avengers and Fantastic Four to Image Comics to produce that. That was a major status quo change in the Marvel universe that remained, which was primarily X-Men and Spider-Man at the time. And the Avengers and the Fantastic Four were effectively rebooted by Image Comics, and for a little over a year, I believe it was, that was the status quo. So I can see Marvel flirting again with a reboot, but this time more under their control because they are in a better position than they were at that point. So I do see it as a possibility, but I don't know that I see it as the actual truth. So let me know what you think, and Loki, I'd love to continue this conversation. I think you did a great job.